I thought this World Cup peaked. I thought this World Cup peaked. We witnessed the best game of the World Cup. We witnessed the best game of the World Cup. Because people that said, oh, the Spain-Portugal game wasn't a great football game. It had dramatic moments and everything, but it wasn't a great game. Because let me just be real with you. This game was far more exciting because both teams were actually trying to play, because Portugal are not a very good footballing side. And I'll come out and say it. Spain are a poor man's Japan. Spain are a poor man's Japan. What Japan do is what Spain is trying to do. And I think I've got to quote, I've got who someone tweeted it to me saying that basically Japan are pretty much doing what Spain are trying to do. While Spain are just doing passing, going nowhere, the passing accuracy on these Japanese guys is absolutely amazing. But for Belgium, I think this is what Belgium needed this game. I think this was the game that, because we already know that you're talented. Do you have character? Do you have the mentality? Do you have that mental fortitude to really fight back? And they showed it. And look, man, people hate him. People are like, what the hell is he doing here? They call him bald. You know, he's been dancing in a club. But Roberto Martinez made 2 changes. And even when he made those 2 changes, I was like, okay, what about Batshuayi? What about Dembele? Those 2 changes changed the whole game. Japan literally, because again, I was watching this with my Japanese friend, man, and I tell you, it was an experience because he's already a bit psycho. So you can just imagine how he reacts. I actually posted his reactions on Instagram. So, but my thing is like, if you're Japanese, you have to be proud of those boys. You see, as a Nigerian, I actually feel envious because I looked at how Nigeria played and they played like a pile of crap. But if you're Japanese, you lose like that, it's heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. Because from 2-0 up in the second half, you feel like you would hold on to it. But as I said to my Japanese amigo, when Kawashima, who is going to get inducted, he's going to get inducted. Once he made that mistake, then I was like, okay, it's done now. When he made that mistake, I was like, yep, it's done. It's done because like you can't make that mistake. You can't. I'm sorry, you just cannot make that kind of mistake, Kawashima, because never assume, especially at the World Cup, never assume. He assumed that the flight of the ball would go over, but if you don't assume, jump. Just jump wherever. Just say that ball is going to go in. I'm just going to assume that the ball is going to go in. Make the jump, and you jump, and it doesn't go in because that has no business entering the net. So madness. You know, but I'm sorry, man. One of the players of the tournament has to be anyway. What a player! What an absolute player! That goal that he scored in the group stages was amazing, but this goal that he scored, I mean, the placement. Because really, when I watched the replay from behind him, the ball did not move. The ball did not move. Tactically, there is nothing Japan did wrong. Tactically, there's nothing that they did wrong. They played a perfect game. They pressed high. They kept on looking for the goals. They never sat back deep. They showed that attack is the best form of defense. They kept on giving as good as they got. So it was, Belgium were fully pushed. They're fully pushed. But I just thought what came through was Belgium's talent and just their mental strength. Because they dug in deep, and I think Belgium just felt that no. I think I liked Belgium's view because Belgium were like, no, we don't want this to go into extra time. We have to end this down in 90 minutes. But I think this was a scare because what this showed is that Belgium defense can be gotten. That midfield may need to be reshaped. I think Dembele may need to be brought into midfield. I don't think Witsel is that guy. I think Dembele needs to come in for Witsel because Japan bossed that midfield, and I think Japan very easily managed to find space. And if you give that kind of... Look at that. Japan scored 2 goals. Could easily scored more. So Belgium, if you give that space to Neymar, Coutinho, Willian, or Jesus, it could be lights out. It could be lights out. So there's a lot of stuff to work on. So, but for Belgium, they're through. They made it through. And it's like... I'm seeing people say, oh, De Bruyne is crap. Look at another disaster class from De Bruyne. When last did he make a good thing? For me, all that matters is what you do in a critical moment. See, people are like, oh, you were consistent for 10, 15 years, but in a critical moment, you flop. I'm a critical moments guy. Even if you flop for 10 years, if you are decisive in a critical moment, that negates you being crap for 10 years. Because it's all about what do you do in the biggest moments that leads to a big play. That's what I want. That's what I need. And that is what De Bruyne always does. And Lukaku, frustrating game, wasn't his best, but that dummy was key. Because if he had wants for that, and if he wasn't aware of what's behind him, so I think it was his intelligence and awareness of Charlie behind him that really led to that goal. So, for Japan, Kagawa played well. Hasebe and Yoshida in defense were. Nagatomo was incredible. There's nothing you can say. So Japan, my boys, man, Subalashi, an absolute Subalashi performance, man. So well done, and congrats to you boys, man. And Belgium, they're rocking. And guys, yeah, man. I think we might have to call this the greatest World Cup ever so far. Thank you for watching this video. Think about pledging and become a Half of Football Hot patron. Pledge an amount each month and gain access to exclusive videos from your boy, the Football Hot, for more analysis. Peace.